back to the WP-Tonic workshop series. It's a series of workshops that I do with my colleague, Haroon, and we cover all things marketing automation, e-learning, learning management systems, and how to combine learning management systems with the most modern marketing automation that's available through the power of WordPress. And we all love WordPress, don't we? I'm really looking forward to this particular presentation. It's going to be part of a series of 2 workshops that I'm doing with Haroon, and we're going to be covering a really hot subject and a really interesting subject, and that's BuddyBoss and how you set up what is BuddyBoss, what is the best way to set it up, how does it work with LifterLMS or LearnDash, but it will have an emphasis on LifterLMS, but the basic principles you can also apply to LearnDash. We're also going to be talking about how you integrate like Groundhog or Fluent CRM in this stack of BuddyBoss and LifterLMS. So like I say, we're going to be doing this over 2 workshops. This is number 1. We've got a lot of ground to cover. I'm just going to let Haroon quickly introduce himself and we'll be off. So Haroon, for the live people that are watching and for the people that watch on YouTube and all the other places that I put this video, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Certainly. Thank you, Jonathan, for having me here. It's a pleasure. And I'm always excited about these sessions because it's a great experience to share what you've learned over the years when you've identified the best tools in your industry and how they work with each other, and you want to share it with the community so that it decreases their learning curve. So a bit about myself. I've been working in the tech industry for the past over 2 decades, and with WordPress for the past around 14 years or so. From my college website project that I did for my school, and then it was like love at first sight with SITE site with WordPress. So I've seen WordPress grow. I've seen my career grow with it, and now I run my own agency and hosting service.
And Haroon extensively works with WP-Tonic as a consultant. Yes. And his knowledge and support is invalued as part of my own agency. So, and I think we've become we've been working with one another for about 6-7 months, and we've become friends. I would classify you as a friend now. Even though we haven't physically met, but at one of these WordCamps. I am planning to go to WordCamp Europe in Porto, Portugal next year. So I don't know if you might have plans of going to WordPress Europe, Haroon. If you do,
I would absolutely love to. If I get the visa, I'll be there for sure.
Yeah, that would be great. It'd be great to see you there. I've got a lot of people that I'm going to be meeting over a 4 or 5 day period of that WordPress meetup, basically. So BuddyBoss, it's a bit of a monster. It's got a lot of power, but it also causes a lot of confusion. Well, I think it does. Would you agree that it's got a lot of power, but it also causes a bit of confusion? And then if you do agree with that statement, what do you think are some of the key things that causes the confusion that people have really got to understand about BuddyBoss before they start their journey with this plugin hybrid theme monster? So over to you, Haroon.
Yes, I agree. It is not a simple product to deal with. And I recently built, even for a BuddyBoss site, it was a really complex site because it involved BuddyBoss with MemberPress, with LearnDash and WooCommerce, and a whole bunch of custom post types with custom fields and relationships between them, and custom templates using Elementor for custom layouts for pretty much everything. The site looks nothing like the demo you see on the BuddyBoss site, but hey, that is also a testament to how customizable it is. So it is quite a bit of a monster, and when you combine all these plugins with it, it can feel like a bit of a Frankenstein. But once you know how to work with it, it's like putty in your hands that you can use to build something really big, something that you may not have thought previously possible with WordPress, and make it look good. So it has two components: the BuddyBoss platform, which includes the functionality of all the social media features. And then there's the BuddyBoss theme that makes it all look good and gives you the theme options to customize it and make it look the way you want it to look.
Yeah, just to quickly interrupt. So I think for people that are looking at BuddyBoss but haven't actually started to really study it a bit, if you're an end user or you're a power implementer or you're a developer that might be looking at BuddyBoss, what Haroon is saying is it comes in two parts. It comes with a plugin, is based on, I'm sure I might be wrong here, I think it's based on BBPress, or I might be wrong there, he will correct me. But you got the plugin and it will work with most themes. So you get the core functionality, and they've dealt with a lot of the bugs that was with the what it's based on. So that's really great. But you don't get the that look which they promote on the BuddyBoss website. To get that kind of look of a quasi kind of Facebook, Twitter, kind of modern, I call it a modern forum look. You've got to use the theme with the plugin, and then they don't actually provide a mythology, dummy content. They don't give you anything that by a couple of clicks you can get a kind of demo look which they're showing on their website, and that also causes some confusion. So I interrupted a little bit there. Hopefully I didn't come across as rude, Haroon. But what do you think of what I've just pointed out? Would you agree with some of the statements I've just said? And I think also it's some of the factors that causes a lot of people confusion, isn't it?
Yes, to a certain degree. Some corrections. One is it's based not on BBPress. BBPress is one of the things that constitutes it. BuddyPress, which was the original WordPress sort of social network plugin. So what the BuddyBoss team did is they took BuddyPress, combined it with BBPress. BuddyPress was the original social networking plugin for WordPress, but a very rudimentary one on its own. It gave you a Facebook timeline kind of feature and some features for adding people as connections and bits of this and bits of that, but not a lot. And then there was BBPress, which was a forum system, a bulletin board system. BBPress also integrated well with BuddyPress.
I always get the two confused. I do.
No worries, many do, so no issue. So yeah, they took BuddyPress and BBPress, they forked them into a combined product, and not only that, they took a lot of community developed third-party plugins for BuddyPress and BBPress, and they took those that added some extra really useful features like profile types, assigning different profile types to users. That was a third-party plugin feature. They natively integrated into BuddyBoss. They were previously building themes for the BuddyPress and BBPress platform. So they were themselves a long-term theme developer for these platforms. And during that tenure,
and that history is also unfortunately also added to the confusion, hasn't it? Because
I'm going to come to that, of course.
Yeah.
So that history during that time, they were developers of several popular free and I think some paid plugins for BuddyPress and BBPress as well. And so they had a whole team, a whole ecosystem going for them, heavily invested in those platforms. They were just not happy with the direction of those original two plugins, and neither is most of the WordPress community. I mean, you install them and they look hideous by today's standards. They seem stuck in a concept stage where somebody decided that, hey, let's show that WordPress can do the social media thing, and not much has changed in terms of the UI and the UX, since then. So what they did is they made a platform that combined all that functionality and made it available for free for anyone to download and build the theme on. So what you can technically do is install the BuddyBoss platform, build your own theme on it, use your own CSS to make things look the way you want. And there you have it. You're going to have your own BuddyBoss social network looking the way you want. But then at the same time, they made a theme available as a premium product, as their primary product that they sell. And that theme just made it look completely like it was built by a venture funded agile team. That's how it looks. It looks nothing like WordPress. In fact, let me share my screen and show it to you. So if you land on the BuddyBoss site, buddyboss.com, it says try demo over here, and let's click that. And it'll launch a sandbox instance of BuddyBoss just for you, where you have complete access to test it out for a few minutes, for 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, it will reset and you can create one again. So let's do that. It may take a few seconds to spin one up.
Yeah, we're using Zoom as well. That sucks bandwidth. There we go.
Oh, yes. Let me hide these Zoom's floating meeting controls. I hate these. Yes. Okay. So here, as you can see, this is like how you'd expect a modern social network platform.
If you don't mind, can you go through some of the features and some of the things they offer?
Yes, I'm going to do that right away. So over here, you can see this is the activity feed, and these are just widget areas where we're currently seeing a blog post list widget, a widget of people that you're following. So it has the follow feature like Twitter's, and friends feature where you can send a connection request like Facebook. And yeah, Facebook also has follow. And you can see recently active members. You can see newest active and popular members, as well as groups. Sorry, not members. Yeah, when it comes to popular, you can see groups. So groups work like Facebook groups, and forums work like any bulletin board forums. And there's also a component. No, I don't think there's a component of Facebook pages yet. So yeah, people cannot really make their own pages, but they can create groups, which work very, very close to how Facebook groups work. And you can see a list of members. The activity feed is just like a timeline where you can comment on activities, and not just social media activities, but you can set it so that when a new course is published on your LifterLMS or LearnDash, it can create a feed and an activity where everyone who's signed in can see. When you publish a new blog post, it can update the activity feed. So other things, the other plugin ecosystem of WordPress that integrates with BuddyBoss, when things happen in that, those can also update the activity feed. Members list is also pretty swell looking, if I might say so, in the BuddyBoss theme. And mind it, this is not just the platform. This is the platform with BuddyBoss theme beautifying everything. This component in the header where we have this drop down, and this is like a profile of a user. All of these profile sections, this is BuddyBoss theme, not plugin. This search, this messaging drop down, this notification drop down, this shopping cart drop down, it integrates beautifully with WooCommerce. All of this is done with the platform providing the functionality and the theme providing the actual display, the actual utilization of that functionality into a user interface. And then there are groups. So yeah, on members, you can follow, you can add as a friend, just what you'd expect from any social network. In groups, you can see all groups, or you can see groups that you've joined. You can join a group. I'm logged in as an admin here, so I'll have access to all the groups. But like non-admins, they can see all the groups that are public. You can have private groups that certain user levels can see. It integrates with the likes of MemberPress and WooCommerce memberships as well, where you can restrict certain features of the BuddyBoss platform to people with different membership levels. And yeah, within groups, you can just browse the groups timeline, where any group members can post whatever they want. And you can see lists of group members. You can see, you can create posts that other group members are going to see. You can see photos, albums, documents, invite others to the groups, what you'd expect from a social network group feature. Forums can be associated with groups, or they can be just freestanding forums that have nothing to do with the group. So associating groups with forums is like allowing, because a forum is, a group is more like, a timeline, while a forum is more like a bulletin board where things aren't that sort of dynamic. The way a timeline feed, you just scroll by and you just forget about it. But forums, they just stick around and they stay. So that's the basic difference. And they are working on improving the forum experience already, but it's still it's far ahead of what you get with plain vanilla BB Press. It's I'd say years ahead of that one. As you can see here, no, we're in groups, sorry. Yeah, so groups that have forums associated with them. If you visit a forum that is associated with a group, it's going to show up in that group's discussions tab. And you can see all the forum discussions over there. And then there's just the usual WordPress blog. The theme also makes it look good. It provides a few different default layouts for the default WordPress blog. There's a nice looking masonry layout, like a very magazine-ish look. And then there's your usual list and grid. And then the interesting bit, the really interesting bit, is the integrations part. So in this demo, you can see integration with LearnDash, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to open it in a new tab, and there's an integration with Elementor. Let's open that. In Elementor, they have LearnDash widgets. They have different sections of the entire BuddyBoss platform that you can insert when you're building your home page, your timeline page, your community page with Elementor, rather than using the default layouts offered by the BuddyBoss theme. So you can utilize those widgets in Elementor to basically build custom layouts. And then there's the events.
I just want to intersect just for a couple of minutes because WP-Tonic is a kind of hybrid. We offer DIY solution for our hosting packages. I have to have maybe a slightly different conversation than you normally have as a consultant or implementer. And what I mean by that, Haroon, is that when the people are selected one of our hosting packages, they get access and they want BuddyBoss as part of the package. We will set it up for them, i.e. we will install the plugin and theme. But I have to say to them, be aware that you won't, it's a theme and a plugin, so you can't have two themes installed at the same time. So if you want another complete look than what BuddyBoss provides, you've got two directions to go at. we could set up BuddyBoss on a subdomain from your main domain, and we tend to recommend Astra and their child themes, and your main Lifter website can be on the main domain, and we can set it up so when they subscribe to one of your courses, they are automatically subscribed to the BuddyBoss that's on a subdomain, so the people don't have to use two different username and passwords. And then you can send them an invite to the community area, which is on a subdomain. So there's that option. Or if you want it all to be on one domain, you can still have a custom home page and other pages, but you've got to use Elementor and the template and develop other pages using Elementor with the BuddyBoss theme. And they're the kind of two options that we try and explain to our DIY hosting clientele. Would you agree with what I've just said? And it's a slightly different conversation than probably that you have with your clients.
Yeah. So I personally just provide them with the second option because that's what I do.
Yes.
Because BuddyBoss the theme already works brilliantly with LearnDashLifter LMS. It makes the course experience like it makes it shine, as you're going to just see in a bit. So like, as you can see, the whole course is grid, and the way you see this really nice progress bar, it looks like a very professional course grid that you'd expect to see on one of those high profile e-learning sites. It just doesn't look like something a novice or newbie WordPress person would just put up using a drag and drop of some features of some plugin, or just, something that you can build without any custom coding. And then here is the single course view, which also looks absolutely brilliant. With really nice big billboard style featured image, making it shine, and it looks like, again, it doesn't look like something done with DIY. It looks like very professionally made.
Yeah,
so I don't see a reason to have the courses hosted on or the shop experience that you're going to just see here. This is the WooCommerce shop. It's gorgeous, and I can make it even prettier, but this is like pretty enough in its own right. And this is just one layout of the shop. And I recommend, or what I do for my clients is I use BuddyBoss as the theme for WooCommerce, for LearnDash, for the events calendar, which
for Lifter
LMS. Yes. But when it comes to building their homepage, building their and even blog, I do with just the BuddyBoss default options if necessary. But when it comes to creating layouts for other content types in their homepage, their about page, their contact page, all of those pages, I prefer to build even the header and the footer. I don't use the default BuddyBoss header across the entire site. I use Elementor to build the header and footer. Because this widget that you see right here, this component, so this is available in the default header.
If you don't, if you can't, I totally understand. But if you can you show us one of the sites that you've done recently in BuddyBoss?
Oh, certainly. Let me do that right away. But just let me explain this part. So this thing that you see over here, this profile area of like this drop down search and these icons for cart, notifications, and messages. This is available as an Elementor widget, which is brilliant. And I was among the first ones to request it when I was doing a big client build in BuddyBoss, because I wanted to build the header in Elementor, and this was the only thing I was missing. With this, I've created the entire remaining part of the header using Elementor. And this is the site. If you visit it without the right access level, oops, what's happening to it? Okay, for some reason, because the client was messing around with the site recently.
Oh, these clients, terrible, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, because of that, it doesn't seem to be working right now. There shouldn't really be any reason for this, but hey, what can you say? So I'd probably be able to show it in the next episode. And yeah, so many of those Elementor widgets come really handy in building an entirely custom front page, an entirely custom community landing page. So let's say there are several other areas of the site, and then there's the community area, and you want a different landing page with a different widgets layout than their default activity feed. Maybe you want to show some.
I just want to, I totally agree with you, but the reason why I have this discussion, Haroon, is that people, everything you said, because you're an expert and a power implementer, developer, a very knowledgeable individual, so you can literally do everything. But because the way BuddyBoss, for understandable reasons, I have clientele that looking for the DIY, and they think that it's just going to work like a normal theme, and they won't have to have a deep dive in Elementor, which it's not coding. So with a deep dive, it's totally possible for a power DIY individual to do everything that we've just described, isn't it? But they think it should be like a normal theme where they just set it up and it will have that look on the BuddyBoss website, and they'll be able to just select a home page and blah blah blah, and they're off and going. But it's not like that, is it? They're going to have to do a bit of a dive of Elementor and then customize it, and that's what we have to explain to people, right?
Well, if they want strictly what's shown in the demo,
yes,
and nothing more, absolutely nothing more, they don't even want anything customized, anything even moved from, let's say, one side to the other, then that can be done with just DIY, but with a really deep dive. You have to be like an enthusiast DIYer. You don't have to know how to code, but you need to know your way around WordPress, configuring plugins, configuring themes, making them, work with each other because of an overwhelming number of options. Just a sheerly overwhelming number of options and integrations. But yes, you can achieve this look without using Elementor and without writing a single line of code. But the moment you want to make it your own rather than just a copy of the demo, you're going to need either some custom coding or you're going to need to use Elementor.
Well, you can, I think if you're just looking to have an individual homepage, about us page, a contact us page, you can achieve all that just by having a deep dive of Elementor with BuddyBoss, can't you?
Yes. Or you can even use Gutenberg for the homepage, about page and all. You can use anything for those more static pages. But yes, if you want to do anything beyond the demo, and even for making it look exactly like the demo, you're going to need a lot of beautiful content, like a lot of good photography, a lot of good videos, carefully selected titles and descriptions. So it's not going to look like this with lorem ipsum and some random stock images put together.
So what happens is I send them, we set it up on our hosting with all our great software. We choose the right, and we don't install it all. We have onboarding Zoom, and we find out what they're trying to achieve. Is Lifter or LearnDash? Are we going to use the native? If we're going down with Lifter, are we going to use the native inbuilt systems of Lifter, or we're going to add WooCommerce? We normally add WooCommerce, and then they want BuddyBoss, so we install BuddyBoss, and then I send them as part of the onboarding Zoom. I send them an email with all the resources on the BuddyBoss YouTube channel and in their help sections. I've got an email template already to fire off to them, Haroon. with all the resources that will show them everything that we've just discussed. And then I get this silence, and then I get this email saying, "Oh, I thought it would be just a couple clicks, and you've sent me all these.
Oh, no.
You sent me all these resources. By the way, how much would you charge?" And then we say, then I give them a quote, and then it goes quiet again, and then they don't seem to do anything for about 3 or 4 months. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I think it causes, and it's not an attack on BuddyBoss, because for what you're being charged, for what you can do, it is an amazing product, isn't it, Haroon? But
absolutely. Absolutely.
But it's one of those products in the WordPress ecosystems that I think causes the most confusion of almost anything that we deal with at WP-Tonic.
Yes, because the clients, they come in with unrealistically high expectations. They expect that just the way they can install WordPress and a theme, they can just install it and it'll give them a replica of the demo site. It doesn't work that way.
But on a less negative thing is they do have some excellent tutorials on their YouTube channel and some other resources. And by just getting, you don't have to become an Elementor expert, but just above learner ability, it's surprising how much you can do with BuddyBoss with Elementor. Would you agree with that?
I completely agree with that. It's like the possibilities are endless. Though what I'd prefer is for them to maybe offer as a paid solution all the widgets that they provide, all the Elementor widgets that they provide with the theme. They should provide those as a plugin that just adds those widgets to Elementor, so that we can just get rid of the theme altogether if we want. We can get that paid plugin of Pro BuddyBoss widgets. That plugin should be Pro BuddyBoss widget. We can use Hello Theme by Elementor for a very bare bones, no frills scaffolding, and then build everything with Elementor so that there are no theme overheads at all. And we can just place those same widgets anywhere we want to build as custom a layout as we want. And I think I'm going to propose that idea, run that by the team as well. And it might really appeal to them, because that's going to mean those who don't need to use the full theme, they can just buy the Elementor plugins plan, and they're going to have another product to sell as well. But yeah, even as it is, you can do a lot with it when pairing it with Elementor due to all the widgets that they offer. And if you are a custom coder, if you're not even a hardcore custom coder, if you are comfortable working with code snippets that you find somewhere and that you just modify to work on your site and add it to either a child theme or a code snippets plugin, then the best news about, like, the one of the best things about using BuddyBoss is pretty much everything that works with BuddyPress or BBPress generally works with BuddyBoss. I don't think I've come across a custom code snippet meant for BuddyPress or BBPress that doesn't work with BuddyBoss, or at least doesn't work with some very basic modification that you can easily do. So there's a wealth of customization options available for both BBPress and BuddyPress that work like a charm with BuddyBoss.
Right. So we've been at this for about 45 minutes. I've got some quick questions, but in our next session, what we're planning to do with Haroon's agreement, which will be a little bit later on this month, will be another Wednesday, roughly around 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will put up a calendar, a prior
Sorry,
calendar.
I think I've lost power in these, so I'll need to swap my.
All right, he's having
headset.
All right, that's great. we'll be doing another session later on this month, and I'll be putting up a calendar invite on the WP-Tonic Facebook page, so you can join prior, because you probably don't want to miss. This has been a workshop introduction to BuddyBoss. In the next session, me and Haroon are going to dive a bit deeper about showing you live some of the key things that you need as a power user or implementer yourself when setting up BuddyBoss with LifterLMS. And if we have time, we might also cover some of the marketing automation elements that you might have to deal with by using Fluent CRM with BuddyBoss, but that's dependent on time restraints. But Haroon, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, great. Before we wrap it up, I just got a couple of questions that are not linked to BuddyBoss, but I just wanted to get your thoughts, because I've had a couple of people through the WP-Tonic podcast and the WP-Tonic Facebook group ask me these questions, my views about two particular products or a group of products that are very related to learning management systems, membership sites. And one of them is Thrive Themes, and the other one is Access Alley. Now, my attitude with, I just wanted to see if you've got the same attitude about Thrive Themes and Access Alley as I do. They're both from two great teams. Thrive Themes has been in the WordPress ecosystem for many years. It's a reputable provider. And Access Alley is also from a great Natalie and her husband and their team. They're also a very quality focused team that has been in the WordPress ecosystem. My problem with them, both with Thrive Themes and Access Alley, is this. If you go down and use either of their products, you are kind of sandboxed into utilizing their suite of solutions. So to me, you're kind of in the middle of using something like Kajabi or using a group of the best plugins that WordPress can provide, like utilizing LifterLMS with BuddyBoss, with Elementor. You're using a group of plugins, but they're the best of breed, right? But then you got a SaaS solution like Kajabi, where they try and sell that their great strength is that everything is integrated much more closely. And then you've got a solution like Thrive Theme or Access Alley, where you're stuck in the middle, you're sandbox, so you can't utilize the best of breed. Yes. But you also haven't got the benefits of a totally integrated system like Kajabi. What's your comments about what I've just said? And do you have a similar attitude to these two particular platforms, WordPress solutions?
I couldn't agree more when it comes to my experience with the whole Thrive suite of products. And when it comes to Access Alley, I haven't actually used it. I never had the occasion to use it, but like from what I've heard of it, it's a similarly sort of pseudo WordPress system that doesn't really go in the spirit of WordPress, of opening yourself up to integration with other major WordPress plugins. So with Thrive, like one example, case in point, Groundhog tries to integrate with every solution out there as soon as they can, because hey, it's a win-win. Groundhog's customers are gonna purchase other third-party plugins and themes or solutions that integrate with Groundhog because they already use Groundhog. And at the same time, a Thrive Architect user might wanna purchase Groundhog because hey, it integrates with Thrive Architect. But Thrive Architect wants to just keep everyone within their suite of Thrive products, even though they are working on top of WordPress as the base framework. So to me, it goes against the spirit of WordPress to try to lock people into your ecosystem by refusing to allow third-party integrations, by refusing to open up your API to let other plugin makers integrate. So Groundhog cannot integrate with Thrive, and they've started a petition to ask Thrive to provide them to their private API access so that they can build such an integration. And I don't appreciate that. If you're working within the WordPress ecosystem, there's a reason why you're working in the WordPress ecosystem. So if you're going to be feeling like in a lockdown SaaS system, then why work in the WordPress industry in the first place? That's why I neither use them nor recommend them to any of my clients.
Well, thank you so much. I just wanted to see your opinion, because to me it's illogical. It's I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be nasty to the Thrive team or to Access Alley, but to me, what they're offering to their clients is you're not getting any of the real true benefits of being part of the WordPress ecosystem, nor any of the real benefits of going with a SaaS totally integrated solution like Kajabi. Yes. You're kind of stuck in the middle, and you're not getting the benefit of either side. So I think it's the worst type of solution that you could choose.
I agree. I completely agree.
Right. So that's my slight bash. I'm sure I'll get some emails. I probably will cut this bit as a separate little video, but I just wanted to ask Haroon's expert opinion, because I've been thinking this way for quite a while, for the past 6 months, why I don't think, and I have engaged in forums and other Facebook groups, and I've been highly criticized for my opinion, but it's an honest one, that I think if you're going to use Thrive Themes or Access Alley, you really got to understand what you're getting involved with. And I can't recommend either product because of the things we've said. It's not that the teams behind those two products aren't great teams. It's more of a philosophy where it's more of a philosophy issue rather than the quality or credibility of the provider. And I'm sure other people will have a very different outlook. But to me, if you're really looking for a totally integrated system, which has its great drawbacks, you should look at something like Kajabi. If you're looking for the flexibility, the design, the functionality, the customization, the true ownership of your website, these are all the great benefits of the WordPress ecosystem. You should look at utilizing WordPress and its ecosystem in the way it should be used, not get stuck in the middle. So we're going to wrap it up now. Like I say, if you're interested in joining us live for our next video, which will be later this month, go to the WP-Tonic Facebook page and you should be able to sign up. And like I say, we will be delving in a bit more detail about BuddyBoss, LifterLMS, and marketing automation. We'll see you soon, folks. Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.